Shalom, 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 yasha'Allah. It's your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called No Match for Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi's Chariots. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty shalom to you Akim, who are out there on the four corners of the earth, on the highways and hedges, preaching this gospel, this 100% truth, and this 100% doctrine to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. I came across this article. It was actually a couple of articles, right? This is from Unilad. You see the picture here. It says pilots intercepted by mystery UFOs that went under the radar during flight, right? It says the pilots were flying from Saudi Arabia to Nigeria when they uncovered the UFOs. Okay. So it says the remarkable moment, a pair of pilots were intercepted by mystery UFOs has been shown online, with many convinced they now believe as a result of the staggering footage. It says discussion surrounding UFOs has been going on for decades, and it has been, Salakia, and it's one that doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Of course it's not, right? Because a lot of those are, is the angels, right? Of Yahawah, okay. Which are the chariots, right? The scriptures talk about the chariots of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashai, which are, a lot of these so-called UFOs, right? Or now they call them what, UAPs. But you see Esau what he tries to do is he tries to, throw trickery out there. All right. He tries to throw a little trickery out there because, like I say, I saw this article, and this was from earlier today. But I saw a couple days ago. Let's get to this one. I saw this article. Right. Slack. Take a little moment to load. This article is in Arizona. Leaked government Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Salakia. My mic was muted. There was all types of stuff going on. Salakia. So if you didn't hear me, I'll repeat it. But this right here, this article, right, we know is not true, right? This is something that Esau made up, and this was from 5 days ago. So I saw this one first, and then I saw the other one, right? So I just wanted to kind of combine them both. But it says U.S. UFO crashed in Arizona and was stolen by officials and cover up leaked government documents. It says a UFO crashed in Arizona. Leaked documents claim the U.S. seized a UFO in May 1953 that crashed outside Kingman near Route 66, according to a conversation between government officials. It says the visitors came tumbling down from the sky and slammed into the desert. So lucky I can't read. It says just east of Kingman, according to UFO researchers. Author Preston Denton believes it's more than just a story. Well, we know that, it's just a story. All right. Because these are spiritual vehicles, like I was crashing, right? these are spiritual things, spiritual vehicles, from the heavens, right? These things are not crashing, man. Right? So you got Esau throwing in his little propaganda to try to discredit the things that are going on. But that's the way of Esau, right? Because the scriptures say, as soon as they be born, they speak lies, right? As soon as they're born, they speak lies. All right. So now this one right here, this article, and we're gonna go more in about the power of these things, right? Of these the chariots, right? They're the chariots of Yahawah Bahasham Shai, right? In the scriptures, they're likened unto whirlwinds. They're likened unto like a scroll, right? They're likened unto a cloud, right? They're likened unto a mountain, right? There's different many names, like a horse. A horse represents power, right? Uh, um, but it says for this one, right? Again, to read again, this is from the Unilad. It says pilots intercepted by mystery UFO, right? It says, let me see. Um, it is harder to argue with video footage. Captain Ruud van Pangerman recently it's flying a Boeing in 747 is how the two pilots spotted objects that were described as being extremely bright, bright and moving freely in the night sky, right? And it kind of reminds me of what me and my Akim saw, with this the description of it, right? it kind of reminds me of the chariot that me and my Akim saw, right? And this was what we saw was a slow moving object, right? Let's see if we can get this real quick. But I want to just show the. Let's see if we can. I want the sound. Let's see if we can kind of zoom in or get to the point of where it is. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Salakia. This is on my channel, and then I know some of the other. All right. So if you can see right here, right? You see this object. It was a bright. I mean, it was brighter than any star out there. It was almost as bright as some of the LED street lights that are out there, right? And the Akim went and they showed a plane. If you can kind of see, there's a plane blinking, right? So we know it wasn't a plane. And then we went over, back to the object, right? And the object was in the night sky, and it was like full of colors, right? And it was just kind of just floating along, man. You know. So this is similar to what these pilots saw. All right. So this is uh you know these chariots are real, right? And the thing about it is they can't um hide it anymore, right? So what do? They'll try to throw in different things and try to say, oh, one crash and the government has one. We know that's a lie, right? Okay, we know that's a lie, right? So these pilots saw that, right? And I believe uh, it's in this picture above. I didn't see the video, but if you see right here, right, that right here, right. So you see that, right? Anything else? So we're just going to get to this some scriptures. And it says Captain Root explains in the with Boeing 74 appeared around 30 minutes into the four takeoff and cruising took place. Concludes, this is my experience of seeing something in the video. It said before that we thought that it was a light, maybe it was a star shown for a long time, and the initial assumption here is that it's just another aircraft, though this would show up on pilots' radars. On this occasion, they say nothing was to be seen loaded by those aircraft, but it would show up trying to explain everything, but they can't seem to understand what it is, right? We know what it is. We know that these are the chariots of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. These are the angels' vessels that they use to go to and fro in the earth. Okay. And the thing about it is, like you see in the other video where it talks about, it crashed and hit the earth, and right. These are spiritual vehicles, power, man. We see them a lot, sometimes it was pretty low, right? And there was a plane, it was a plane that was it right, but the plane, it was going so slow, the plane had to divert away from it, right? And it's like it was almost as bright as an LED light, right? And there was no, and it wasn't like you saw in the video, that we see and we determine it wasn't a star. Because let's get into a couple of scriptures real quick, right? The chariots of Yahawah are not out there. Now this Philistine, so this is going to inquire. This is came up yet again. He compassed behind them over again to inquire of Yahawah and how to defeat them. But Yahawah told the trees, right? So let's keep reading. It says, "And let it be when thou hearest the sound of the going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt bestir thyself, for then shall Yahawah go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines." And David did so as Yahawah had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba until thou come to Gezer. Right? And let's read this in the NOT real quick. Okay. Let's read it in the NOT. But basically what's happening here is the Lord told him, don't attack until I come up in front of you, right? Or basically it's the chariot. The chariot is, and this thing is obviously invisible, right? Because the only thing that you're hearing is the rustling of the top of the mulberry trees, right? And let's get in the NOT. It might be a little, make more a little sense for you. Okay. Lord's will, you keeping up with me. 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 22, it says, "But after a while, the Philistines returned again and spread across the valley of Rephaim. And David asked Yahawah what to do." Right? And it said, "Do not attack them straight on." Yahawah replied, "Instead, circle around behind and attack them near the poplar tree," right? Or the mulberry tree. It says, "When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the poplar plant, be on alert. That will be the signal that Yahawah is moving ahead of you to strike down the Philistine army." So David did what Yahawah commanded, and he struck down the Philistines all the way from Gibeon to Gezer, right? But it said the sounds were like feet in the tops of a poplar tree or a mulberry tree, right? So that was the signal, right? So if you could just imagine, if you ever seen like Predator, right? He has that invisibility, right? But this is a so-called UFO, which is the chariots of Yahawah, and it's grazing on the top of the trees, right? As it goes in front of David, right? And the army to understand, and that was the signal to let them know that Yahawah is going ahead of them and to smite the Philistines, and then that's when they go and attack. Okay, so there's no crashing in these things, man. Right? These and I constantly talk about it. There's videos of chariots going into volcanoes while they're erupting. there's a video, right, and you see glowing lights coming from the ocean, right, and then coming out of the ocean, right. There's plenty of video, like I say. All you gotta do is just look up sometimes, and you'll see them. Let's get this. This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of Yahawah, the Most High Power, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob," saith Yahawah. But the eyes of the Lord, right, are the angels in these chariots, right? And they're seeing what's going on. All right. And guess what? They're upon this sinful kingdom and throughout all the earth, right? And they're making their presence known, but they're not showing their power as of yet, right? And we're gonna see, their power. We're gonna go over a couple of scriptures with that. All right. So the eyes of Yahawah, right, are upon the sinful kingdom, right? How? Because these angels are sitting here and they're watching, they're seeing these things, they're seeing what's going on, right? They're doing recon, if you understand, right? They know what's they're getting ready, right, for the return of Yahawashi. This is the book of Isaiah, Psalms, right? Psalms chapter 34 and verse 5 are upon the righteous, right? So not only are they looking over the sinful kingdom, but they're also looking over the righteous too, right? And then the video was crazy. And if you watch the video that I did of that one, we were talking about the destruction of Babylon and that building that was there. And then a few minutes later after I said that, we spotted the chariot, right, coming over it. Okay. So it says, the eyes of Yahawah are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. It says, the face of Yahawah is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. All right. So these things are beholding the righteous and the wicked, right? And they're taking tallies. And best believe they're going back up into the heavens, right? And they're reporting these things, right? This country's doing this, right? This brother's over here doing this lesson, this sister's doing this thing, right? Hey, this king is trying to do this, and they're orchestrating their work, right? So understand that. Here's another one, right? Right. Like I said, these things are going to be more. They're going to show themselves more and more, but in the day that they do destruction, it's going to really be known. All right. This is with Elisha, right? And let's see. Let me see. The Armenians plot to capture Elisha. Let's start at. Let's see. Let's start at verse 13. Right. Let's start at verse 13. It says, and he said, this is 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 13. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore he sent thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city. Right? Let's see who this. Okay, this is the king of Syria, right? I just wanted to get that. So it said, and he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. It says, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servants said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? It says, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them, right? And so they're looking and they're seeing, all these men, they're seeing the men that, the king of Syria that he sent, chariots and a great host of people, right? Horses and different things, right? So let's keep reading, right? And Elisha said, and he feared, and he answered in Salakia, it says, and he answered, it says, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they be for them, right? So you see how that chariot, it didn't show up. I think it was multiple, but it didn't show up on radar, right? Sometimes you'll see videos where they are on radar, right? These things, are capable of pretty much anything, right? So it says, and Elisha prayed and said, Yahawah, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahawah opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw and beheld the mountain was full of horses and chariots and fire round about Elisha, right? So the Lord opened this man's eyes, this young man's eyes, and he sees the angels and the chariots that are surrounding this great host of people, with their horses and their chariots. Okay. It says, and Elisha prayed and said, Yahawah, I pray thee open his eyes that he may see. And Yahawah opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots, and of fire round about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto Yahawah and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness, according to the word of Elisha. Right now, just think about how powerful, this prophet Elisha was. Right, that he prayed to Yahawah to have another man's eyes open to be able to see, what's going on, right, in that kind of fourth dimension. You know what I mean? And also to give commandments, right, and have them, laid out, right. He prayed for them to blind the men, to smite and blind the men, and that's what Yahawah did. Right? So understand that these things are not crashing. These things are not, it's none of that. Okay? Like, don't believe that, right? Let's go to the book of let's go to the book of Psalms, right? So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse number 17. It says that even thousands of angels, right? They ended up seeing all these chariots and these men, right? All right there, right? With the capabilities, right? This is the thing. They were not detected by radar, right? If radar was invented, they weren't going to be detected. Okay, right? There's no match for Yahawah's chariots, right? It says the chariots of the Most High, of the Heavenly Father Yahawah, are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and Yahawah is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Okay, and just as the angels were surrounding, with Elisha, and the men who were trying to come up against Elisha and the young man, right? Those same angels, they're here now, right? And they're watching over the elect. Okay. And guess what? Then they're going to help in the deliverance of the elect, right? When Yahawashi comes. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, and verse number 5. It says, as birds flying, so will Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. All right. So as birds fly, because these things, and it's amazing, right? Because me and Akim, we were teaching, and then we went to the foot of the ferry, which is like a marina type area. We were watching the birds. And there's some of these birds that can maneuver like crazy, I mean, swooping down, changing directions in the blink of an eye, like just all types of things, right? But the same way as birds fly, so will Yahweh Shemel Shai of hosts defend Jerusalem, right? Because he's coming from the air. He's coming in these chariots, okay? These things that you see, right? Right now, you see they're not doing too much. But pretty soon, they're going to be putting that work in. Right? They're going to be putting that work in to destroy this place, man. Right? Matter of fact, what did Yahawashi say? Let's get that. Matthew, what is that? 24 to 31. Verse 30. right? This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with great power and glory, right? And as birds fly, he's going to come in, right? And if you see how birds fly, like if you see like geese, how they're flying, they have that formation. It's going to be that same type of formation. Yahawashi and the angels, man, right? And as birds fly, they're going to be flying through the air, right? And they're going to be what? Putting work in. They're going to be, destroying this place, man, right? They're going to be destroying Babylon, right? They're going to be all throughout the earth, right? Matter of fact, the one that Yahawashi is coming in. Well, I'm gonna get that in a second, Salakia. Let me not get that. Let's go back to this. Isaiah 31:5. It says, "As birds flying, so will Yahweh Shemashai of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it." Okay. And what did it say in Matthew? It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven." It says, with power and great glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds and from one end of heaven to the other. All right. So as birds fly, because they're going to be flying in these so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shai. So it says, defending also in Isaiah 31:5, he will deliver it. Who? The elect, right? He's going to gather his elect from the four winds of the earth, right? From the four winds of the earth, he's going to be delivering his elect. Also, while he is going to be defending, he's going to be destroying. It's going to be a simultaneous. It's not going to be, this and this is going to happen and this. No, it's going to be a simultaneous event, right? At the same time, he's coming to destroy. He's coming to deliver. All right, to put all these nations underneath him. It's not going to be a period where, Gog is going to be ruling for 20 seconds or whatever it is. All right. It says, in passing over it, he will preserve it, right? Because he's going to preserve his elect. All right. Now let's just read. What I want to do too is read an account in the Maccabees about the chariots, right? So when you got this article over here where it's talking about, a UFO crash and the government got it, and these things ain't crashing, and these things are capable of destroying, right? Let's get this in the book of 2 Maccabees. All right. Now the scriptures, the chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shire are thousands, even thousands, of angels, right? So now this is let's just get to the point. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 10, and I'm just going to start verse 29. It says, "But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses and bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews." Okay, and this is with Maccabees, right? It says, and 2 of them led the Jews. There was 5. Right? It says, and took Maccabees betwixt them and covered him on every side weapons, right? This thing had all the gadgets and gadgets, all right? And basically was protecting the Maccabees on either side, right? So if you can see, like, as their protection, it says, and kept him safe. It said, but shot arrows of lightnings, right? These are laser beams against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. It says, and there was slain of footmen 20,500 and 600 horsemen. Okay. So, with the 2 angels that were there that were defending the Maccabees, right? They killed 20,500 and 600 horsemen. Okay. With one thing, with their weaponry. All right. So understand this, right? These things, hey, there's ain't no crashing. These are things are unstoppable. There's no match for Yahawah Shai's chariots, right? Now just and if there's no match for Yahawah Shai's chariots, what about Yahawashai's chariot? What about Yahawashai's chariot? Let's get that. Right? It's gonna go to this is the second Ezra. Let's start at verse number 3. Right, and we'll read down. It says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man, this man is talking about Yahawashi, waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him." Right? Because when Yahawashi turns, this what does it say? The nations shall wail. Let's get it. Where is it in Matthew? We can just stay in Matthew, right? Matthew 24 and 30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn," right? "And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds," right? Let's go back to this. It says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven," right? Because what? What does it say? The chariots of the Heavenly Father are 20,000, even thousands of angels, and Yahawah Shai is among them, as in Sinai. All right. Let's go back to it. It says, "And that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned with his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea." Right? Let me see something. I think it's down here. Let's see. I'm going to go back up. I just wanted to show. So I just wanted to see something. Let's see. Okay, Salakia. Salakia. All right, we'll go back up. Salakia. Just wanted to see some. Okay, where were we? Let's see. Beheld the four winds. Okay. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea." Right? And this is, going into the what is it? The valley of Yahawashi. Okay. It says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." It says, right, and that mountain, right, is talking about a chariot, right? He flew up on a great mountain, right? It says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it," right? Flew up upon it, because it says, "As birds flying, so will Yahawah Shai of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over it, he will preserve it." Okay. And it's talking about, the elect. All right. But it said, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." It says, I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it, but I would have seen the region or the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not," right? He couldn't see from where this thing started, where this thing ended. It was so huge. Okay. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet do his fight, right? Because if you could just imagine, right, you got these nations with their little F-16s and Raptor and whatever, latest technology, this, that, and the other, and then here come the chariots of Yahawah Shai. Here comes Yahawashi, right, and this fathership, right, this huge, huge spacecraft, right, so-called spacecraft, which is the chariot of Yahawah Shai, right, and they're going to be slowly afraid, right, but the Lord is going to put in their spirit to fight, right, so they're going to try to fight, all right. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Right? That kind of sounds familiar with the Maccabees, right? Maccabees 10 and 30, 2nd Maccabees 10 and 30, it says, and took Maccabees betwixt them and covered him on every side, weapons, and kept him safe, but shot arrows and lightnings against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. And there was slain of footmen 20,000 and 500 and 600 horsemen. All right. Now those were two angels, right? And this is Yahawashi, right? It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, right? Those laser beams, right? And the weaponry of these chariots of Yahawah Shai, right? Let's see what's going to happen. It says, and all they were mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, right? And burned them up every one, so that upon of a sudden an innumerable multitude, remember it was a large multitude of people that were coming up against Yahawashi, right? And the angels, right? An innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke. It says, when I saw this, I was afraid, right? And Ezra was afraid when he saw this, right? Because this is the power, of these chariots, right? Right now, you just see them; they're flying around, they're doing different things, right? They're undetectable, right? We showed scriptures where they appeared, right? We show how they're stealth, right? So when you got this article talking about that one crashed, in Arizona, was stolen by officials, right? We know that's a bunch of crap, man, right? Because these are spiritual vehicles, right? When we go to the other article, we see, and this is the same thing, like I said, that me and the Akim saw, of this bright light, that was kind of floating around. It was changing colors. It was doing these different things, right? These are the vehicles of Yahawah Shai, and they're spiritual. They can't be destroyed, right? If you saw right here, it said the multitude was prepared to fight, right? They were prepared to fight. That don't mean they did, right? They got destroyed. They got obliterated, right, by Yahawashi when he came back, right, in the chariots. When he comes back, this is what's going to happen, right? This is prophecy, right? It shall come to pass, and it's going to come to pass, right? And the Lord's will part of that number that is able to be in the chariot and to witness this stuff, man, right? It says there's no greater joy, than to see the fall, a man to see the fall of his enemies, man. That's what we're looking for, man. That's what we're waiting for, right? And to usher in the coming of Yahawah Shai. It's a beautiful thing, right? And guess what? There's no match for Yahawah Shai's chariots, right? Esau and all these other nations, they can come up with all these different things, right? There's nothing that can stop these chariots of Yahawashi, man, at the end of the day. All right. So I just wanted to do a little lesson on that. Lord's will, this was edifying, right? But yeah, I mean, it kind of came to me from this article, the pilot, and you see, you know, he has the play the video because it probably will do all types of craziness, But hey, there's no match for Yahweh Shai's chariot. A chariot or a UFO, so-called UFO, we know that's a lie, man. Okay, and we put scriptures on how these things are, and there's many more scriptures. There's so many more scriptures on how powerful these things are, right? So just understand that, and you see two angels and the destruction that they did, and then what he's going to do to a innumerable multitude. All right. So understand that, right? So, like I said, I just wanted to find, right? Yahawah, right? Peace and 144,000 men. And to the rest of the elect, stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another. And understand, man, there's no match for Yahweh by Shemi Shai or his chariots, right? And they're coming, right? And they're going to be seen, right? And all you have to do sometimes is look up and you'll see them, But a lot of people, they don't pay attention and they're not, concerned about the things of going on. But the Yahawashi told you, when you see these things, look up for your salvation draweth nigh. All right. And with that, I want to say, shalom.